Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick and I'm from IGS Electronics. Today we're going to continue on Schneider Electric M221 PLC. We're going to be checking out the analog card. So at the beginning I was thinking I was working with the two analog inputs the controller itself has, which is going to show that in a minute where they are and how they're connected. But those are very basic, 0 to 10 volt, no scaling anything like that coming with it. So I was just, no, this is not for me. I want to show you a bit more than just that. So we're going to be using the card for it. The card comes with a lot more gadgets and a lot more the options that I would like to use. So we are going to be using the card, which is a TM3TI4. It's a very universal card. I think I spoke in previous videos. It comes with a whole lot of range of signals you can process. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to be using our drive, which is going to be outputting a 0 to 20 milliamp signal as the frequency changes, and we'll be inputting that into the card, and the controller will be processing that signal, and we're going to make a frequency reader on our HMI screen. So that's what we're doing today. Without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, there we are. So from the beginning, let's have a look at that. There's two analog inputs in here. Someone side just that's flew somewhere, and it comes. The controller should come with a connector block like that with it, so where you can have two channels, and both of those channels are 0 to 10 volts as standard for most of the controllers. 0 to 10 volts, and its range of the scaling range I think is believed between 0 to 1000, and I cannot be easily edited. I'm not even sure you can change that in any way. So I'm progressed that far with programming in Schneider regarding these type of scaling. So from what I looked at, they cannot be edited easily. So this card in here as well has got two analog inputs. We already worked with this card previously in the last video. In this video, we're going to be working with this card, which is one of my favorite cards the Schneider manufactures for this series of PLCs, because it processes so many different signals within one card and connector blocks, connector points. So as you can see in here, you need to have a plus and a minus, which is a separate power supply. It doesn't matter which power supply you're using, as long as it's got 24 volt DC supply, plus the earth, which again I didn't use. Guys, remember, you have to use the earth if there is earth points. Where I don't use it because it's temporary. So from there on is NC. As you can see, the whole lot in NCs in here, because they are all not connected. So because there is a card that is a TM3TI8, which comes with the 8 channels, and then for those 8 channels, these would be more or less occupied. So for us, it's only 4 channels. So they just didn't use it. The whole concept is the same. It's just that they didn't connect the ports in there. So when it comes down to a analog input, as you can see, you got the I0 plus and I0 0 minus. No, this is 10 plus and 10 minus, and so on. So there is sorry, again, it is I0 I0 minus, I0 plus, I1 plus, I1 minus, and so on, all the way to I3 plus and a minus. Those are your channels. Obviously, plus and a minus reflects exactly what they are, plus and a minus. So for our point in here, as you can see, the IQ as the AQ 0 from the drive is going to be sending at 0 to 20 milliamp signal back to the card in here, which you're going to set up in a minute to process that signal according to our requirements. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this one. So the card is ready to go. So the bus is all working, power supply, channel straight in, and that's it. You're good to go. So let's jump on the laptop and configure this card to our likings. Alright, here we are. So what we're going to do in here, we're going to go into configurations as always, as you can see, by clicking on here, double click it, and it'll open all the channels in here. This is where you can really set them up, what you want to do. So the first one you're going to be using is 1.01, this is IW 1.0. So first we need to select the type. What we're going to be doing, we are going to do 0 to 20 milliamps. As you can see in here, the range, look at this. This card can process such a large range of signals within the same ports. It's amazing. I love it. This is what I call a design. Very well, very nicely done. So from there on, scope. So you got the scope should be all just a normal, and from there on, as you can see, you got minimum and a maximum. That's what you can literally customize to your liking without creating any additional function blocks. So from there on, we're going to say 0 it's a 0, and the maximum, which is going to be our 20 milliamps, that's going to be displayed as, in our case, that's going to be 50. That's it. As you can see now, that the whole analog input, it's set up. It's good to go. It's really good. The filtering unit, you're not going to be touched that. That's fine. As you can see in the sampling, it's 100 milliseconds. So if you go in here, and from there on, it's a 10 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds. It's depending how fast you want that channel to be sampled. So it's depending again what you are doing. I think what kind of signal you're reading, how fast you want this the information to be updated. So 100 milliseconds is perfectly fine for us. So I'm done that. We just click apply, and channel is ready to go. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to create a quick program. I'll run you through what I've created, because guys, we already done all the program writings and how to do this and this for the HMI and for the program in here. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'll do that off it. So we'll see in a bit. Alrighty, so here we are. So all we have written there, we created the rank with the short is always on. So what we have in NW2 memory ward 2 receiving a analog signal being sent into from IW 1.0, which is the channel where we go in configuration, which is this channel here, which is inputting our setup that we just discussed. So from there on, we pump that into our controller, and we also created a HMI thingy in here with a readout of actual frequency. So we already know how all this is, how to do all this from previous videos, guys. I'm not going to get too much into that. So this is pretty much what we have created. So technically what we're going to receive now, as the frequency will be changing, analog signal will be sent to our analog card. Analog card will be transferred to sending this sending the signal into the memory ward 2 in a form of a 0 to 50, 0 meaning 0 milliamps and 20 meaning 50 meaning 20 milliamps, and that should display accordingly on our HMI screen, which is here. So having said that, so let's jump onto our setup and see how that works. Alright, here we are. So let's have a look at it. So there's our HMI screen. We have already been developing for this for quite some time. So by clicking a start, as you can see, as frequency changes, it updates the milliamps via our analog input in here, and that could be literally anything. It's just basically showing how that would look. So let's start in this kind of application. So if you change the frequency, which let's say 50, as you can see, it shows you as it goes up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the analog inputs are done. Remember, this is done with a 4 to 20 milliamp. This all can be configured whichever way you like it, and obviously there's all sorts of different other examples I could show, which you're going to be playing out in more or less in the future. So let me just jump up the camera. So that will do for this video. Hopefully that sort of gives you an idea where Schneider stands of how they are to set up their analog inputs and outputs. And frankly, I found it really good the way they've done it. They made it so easy, especially when it comes down to scaling, and it's easy to work with, easy to understand, guys. I think hats off for the Schneider. Well done. If it is being built for the newbies. So like me, I'm a newbie into their controllers, and I found it really easily, quickly understandable, and easy to work with. So yeah, that will do for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video.